Hi everyone, welcome to Mr. Dear Docs channel. If you are new to my channel, don't forget to watch other interesting videos from ASP.NET Core and Angular playlist. In our previous session, we discussed about logging in ASP.NET Core. In this session, we will try to learn about exception handling in ASP.NET Core. Let me go back to our employee information project. Before jumping into the working session, I would like to show few lines of code from startup.cs configure method. If you observe these 4 lines of code, if our application is running in development environment, then any exception occurred at the runtime, by default ASP.NET Core will provide us developer exception page. Okay. As part of this developer exception page, we will be able to see stack trace information, query string parameters if any missing, cookies if any, headers as well. If our application is running in production mode, then we need to customize our exception handler mechanism. By default, any exception occurred in the production environment, then that exception message will be transferred to \error page. Let me show you the exception page. In this employee information project, there is a pages folder. Inside of this pages folder, we are having a C# HTML page, that is razor page error.cshtml. This error.cshtml contains a model, error model. If you navigate the error model, then we can be able to see what exactly this error model is going to do. From this, we can be able to see there is one request ID which contains the request ID information from the HTTP context trace identifier. This request ID will be bind to the error page, that is error.cshtml. If you observe this a few lines of code, if there is any show request ID, then that request ID will be bound to this error.cshtml. I would like to share one scenario with you. That is, if you see our employee information product is purely built on ASP.NET Core and Angular. Just assume there is any communication got broken in between Angular to ASP.NET Core API. Then there are two ways we can be able to handle these exceptions. The first thing is like we can be able to see the network broken errors in the network tab. The other thing is like we need to log these errors. The third thing is like at least we need to show these errors in the console. Okay. Let me show one by one. First, we will see how to track these broken errors in the developer network tools. If you see, this is our employee information. As part of this page, we were able to handle the employee information actions. If you click F12, then we can see a network tab which will be help us to track the network traffic. Just refresh this page and observe the list of network traffic information here. If you observe the first request, that is employee information, just click on this and scroll down little. Here we can see the network information completely. The request URL is localhost 44354 and it is trying to fetch employee information from the employee info controller. The request method is get method and the status code is 200, means that is successful. If you go back to response, here we can see what is the response we got from employee information controller. Okay. Just assume there is some communication error or there is some server error from employee information controller. How to handle these kind of exceptions? Let me go back to employee information project, expand the solution explorer and go to app settings.json. In our previous session, we discussed about this connection string and SQL Server connection string as well. As part of the Entity Framework DB context, we learned about how to move this SQL Server connection string from startpad.cs to appsettings.json. Okay. Now this is a valid connection string, and whenever our client page is trying to access the information from employee information controller, we were able to see the response back successfully without any issues. Now let me modify the SQL Server connection string. I just removed a S from this SQL Server connection string. Now this SQL Server connection string is not a valid SQL Server connection string. Let me just run this application and observe the network connection broken from the developer network tools. Just click F12 and observe the network. And if you observe a request made to employee information to fetch the list of employees information, and it is still working with the employee information controller. If you observe this headers general tab, here still we are not able to see the request method and the status code as well. One exception occurred, and if you observe this in the general tab, we were able to see the request method and server error occurred. This is the first way. Through the network tab, we were able to observe this request and response errors. The second thing is like how to handle these exceptions. If you go to employee information, expand this client tab and go to home folder, open the home.component.ts. If you observe here, there is a method called get employees information. We are trying to fetch information from home.component.ts to home.service.cs. Home.service.ts is trying to fetch information from employee info controller. Okay. Now we'll see how to handle these exceptions. If you observe here, along with the subscribe value, we are having one more overload method, that is error as well. Now let me just put a comma here and add error. Our target is like just show this exception into consoles. Let me just go back to employee information product and open the console tab. Here we can see the error message. Let me just clear this console. Hard reload will automatically reload this page whenever we save on the client side. Just observe this console. Live reloading enabled. Just clear this console. If you observe this console, there is a console from home.component.ts. If you want to see the line, just click on this link. It will automatically redirect us to this 33 line. Here you can see console.log and we are trying to log the exception information. Let me go back to console and expand this HTTP error response. Here we can be able to see this entire information, what exactly happened. And as part of this, we will try to read error message, and instead of showing the information in the console, we will try to show this error message in this page itself. For that, let me start adding few lines of code to our home.component.html. Let me go back to home.component.ts. Here we'll just add a error information string variable. Scroll down and assign this exception message. This dot error info is equals to. Now I would like to show ex dot error information. Now next our target is like whenever there is some error information, okay, instead of showing the blank page below to this table, below to this table t body, I would like to add one more div with the page paragraph. Let me add a ngIf directive. Go back to home.component.ts and copy this error information, add it. Whenever there is any error information, instead of showing the blank page, we will show the error message. Yes. Now, if you go to home.component.ts, along with the subscription of response message, we were able to add the exception capabilities also. With this, we were able to add the consoles along with this error information as well. Let me go back to employee information project, and we were able to see the with these few lines of code, we were able to see the error message on the page along with the console error as well. Let me go back to home.component.ts. Okay. Instead of writing it to the console and showing it to the pages as well, we can be able to add this error message into the logs as well. Logs in the sense, if we are having a capability of application insights, we can be able to write this error into the application insights as well. Thanks for watching my video. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe our channel